What's going on, guys? Bengal again here, coming back at you with another video. Today, rebuilding the Houston Texans, and now this team, on paper, looks very, very good. They have young talent all over the field, and even some older players who are still some of the best in the entire league at their positions. Look no further than Nuke and DeAndre Hopkins and J.J. Watt. Both very, very good players. Arguably the best player at that position in the NFL. DeAndre Hopkins very arguably is the best receiver in football, and J.J. Watt arguably the best kind of edge to IDL player in football. Obviously Aaron Donald at D-tackle, but J.J. Watt's this hybrid guy that plays the edge and then slides inside, and he's just unbelievable when he's healthy. Last year, started every single game, was unbelievable, but of course has some injury history in the previous 2 years. But let's go ahead and take a look at this roster. They're only 74 overall. It's one of the low overall teams in the entire game. But let's see if we can take Deshaun Watson, J.J. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins, and put this team into the spotlight, into the promised land, and win them a Super Bowl or two. So, of course, as you guys can tell from the title, this is a realistic rebuild. So we're going to put a large emphasis on making realistic moves only. And we take a look at this team. We'll go ahead and generate the best lineup so injuries are not in play. I actually may have forgot to turn those off. Some people ask why I turn injuries off. It's just injuries are so random and hit for so long. And I know that's how the NFL works. And if it really wants to be realistic, you know, why would you not just keep injuries on? Well, in simulation, I think it's better for every team if it's just based on the roster alone and don't want Deshaun Watson going down for the season, and then boom, year 3 is a complete wash because we're starting TJ Yates, or obviously it's not the Texans' backup quarterback at this point. That was like 2013. Their backup quarterback is A.J. McCarron, and they also have Joe Webb, if you can call it Joe Webb a QB. But I always turn them off for these, so we're going to do that. Oh, I did remember. Excellent. So the Texans kind of put a focus on offensive line in the draft, and they drafted Max Sharping in the second round. Of course, Titus Howard in the first round. It was a pretty controversial pick. He does have star development or better. Probably star development if I had to guess. And he was a quarterback in high school. Let that sink in for just a moment. He's now 6'5", 322, but he was like 6'3", 250 or so playing QB in high school. Some of his huddle tape is so fun to watch because he's so much bigger. And he's just a man. He's a grown man. And he's an incredible athlete, obviously, especially for a tackle. Good size. He's a decent overall now. That star development's going to help him. I hope that he's our franchise left tackle at some point down the line because Lord knows it's not going to be Matt Khalil. Kind of been a disaster in the NFL over his time. Wasn't particularly good for the Vikings. I think he was on the Panthers maybe last year. Kind of forget. Some stuff runs together at times. But Zach Fulton is in here. He's like got to be close to 30 now, right? 27? We might be able to work with him for a year or two. Nick Martin is in here. Of course, Greg Mons is a backup. Kind of surprised he's not a bit higher overall. Senio Clemente. Although Max Sharping, I definitely want to put a focus on him. And I want to say he played some guard at NIU. I can't be certain, though. Can't really recall. I'm going to start him over Matt Khalil. I just have no desire to have Matt Khalil on the team. And then looking at some of the flashier positions on the offense side of the ball. Jordan Thomas is someone I definitely want to build around. I'm going to start him over Daniel Fells. Ooh, Daniel or Darren? I think this is Daniel. I think Darren Fells is elsewhere. It is Darren Fells. Ah, that's frustrating. But I guess I'm mistaken with that. Of course, DeAndre Hopkins is going nowhere. We got Kiki QT, who I definitely want to put a focus on. Receiving core is pretty much set. Will Fuller should be a good second or third receiver, depending on what happens with development. Lamar Miller might be someone I look to upgrade. And Deontay Foreman, of course, Texas Beast, was put on waivers today as I record this. So I guess, unfortunately, I'm going to have to release Deontay Foreman. Kind of sad, but, you know, it is what it is. Of course, Deshaun Watson should be perfect at QB. Superstar development, only 23 years old, 82 overall. Going to be perfectly fine. And on the defensive side of the ball, that's really the strong suit of this team. Their LB core is fantastic. Of course, you did Evian Clowney. Even Tuke Ejiofor is a great athlete. Charles Omenihu, another Texas Beast, took him. I'm a big Texas Longhorn fan, as many of you guys know. Zach Cunningham, Bernardrick McKinney, or Ben Ardrick. I've been calling him Bernardrick his entire career. I always thought there was an R in there, and there isn't one, which I found out this year, and it was just kind of like a shock. It's like, you guys remember the the Berenstein Bears, but it's the Berenstain Bears. I feel like just search the Mandela effect. You'll see what I mean. But I always thought it was Bernardrick McKinney, but it's Ben Ardrick, and it's just that was a shock to me. Dylan Cole in there as well. But Whitney Merciless, getting close to 30. He will be regressing. I think we'll probably keep him starting for the time being, though. They have so many players with star development or higher on this team. Oh, my goodness. Deshaun Gibson, another guy that's getting older. Probably going to look to upgrade him at some point as he's going to regress, although we won't be trading him. Justin Reed, huge draft steal. Everyone saw this coming from a mile away. Of course, I made videos on Justin Reed, and Justin Reed was my number 2 draft steal of his class. But, I mean, it wasn't saying much. He was so good at Stanford. It was unbelievable that he fell to the 3rd round where the Texans snagged him. But Brian Body Calhoun here, Jaleel Adai, I didn't even realize was on the Texans. I'm not going to lie to you. And then the defensive line is really solid as well. Sure, they lost Christian Covington, but DJ Reader's still a beast. And I guess they're going to be starting Brandon Dunn on the nose. 79 strength, 69 block. Not very good, or 67, whatever it said. Carlos Watkins is here as well. Might like to get him some playing time. Might slide him up. Probably start him. Angelo Blackson in there as well. And then the cornerback group. Jonathan Joseph has been as good as he can be, really. And he still has his peanut head, dude. It looks so small and awkward. Oh my god, it looks ridiculous. They had that last year as well. Aaron Colvin's fine. Bradley Roby was signed, of course. They lost Kareem Jackson, who had a career year last year. But that's enough about the roster. Jonathan Joseph, we're going to stick it out. In these realistic rebuilds, I don't just trade older players for picks and younger players. We just ride it out and build mainly through the draft and free agency. But that is the team. And I will see you guys at week 3 to implement the custom draft class. Because, of course, that's what we do in these realistic rebuilds. I'll talk to you guys about that in a moment. All right, week 4, we are, in case you cared, 1-2. Not ideal, but we're not trying to win it all here in year 1. I think the roster is just not exactly ready for that. But, of course, if you'd like to use my class, it is the most downloaded file on the entire Madden share. And I do update it as often as I can. Almost 40,000 downloads. You guys are incredible. And there is a glitch right now where it shows that everyone is first-round talent. It's not the case, I can assure you. And, of course, I do know some of the ratings as I've done the entire class. And I've changed a lot of the ratings and things like that. But to keep it fresh, I'm going to draft different guys every rebuild and just kind of see what happens based on where we pick. So, going to be downloading 2020 NFL Draft Bengal. I already have it. You guys feel free to use it. It is PS4. Someone, like, everyone goes, you're going to bring it on Xbox? It's like, how do you expect me to do that? I don't have an Xbox. I don't have Madden on the Xbox. Am I going to build the class on Xbox? I don't know how you expect that to happen. It's a PS4 exclusive, unfortunately, but I'm going to go ahead and import it since I already have it. Go ahead and bring that in. Also, a lot of you guys ask if I'm going to do a 2021 class. Nothing in the works for right now. Might do something across the course of the year when it gets a little bit closer to draft season. But obviously, a lot of quarterbacks in here. This is a quarterback-heavy class. A lot of really fun, entertaining names. And I wouldn't take a ton of stock in what the projected round is for these players. It's not really like a huge projection. Like, a lot of you guys want Najee Harris to move up, Najee Harris, but one, I don't think he's going to go all that high in the draft. Definitely not first round, as a lot of you guys want. But also, these guys go earlier and they go later. It just kind of depends. So I would take more stock in their overall that it ends up being rather than just their projected round. It's not really a true testament of their skill. But, you know, take that as you will. But as you can see, here's a glitch that I was talking about where everyone's a first-round talent. They're not. They just are not. Like Lyle Trainer here with C+, C, C-, not a first-round guy. So I apologize that there is a glitch with draft classes at the moment. But obviously, these guys are not all first-round talents by, you know, a wide margin. 2-6 at the midseason mark. Not exactly impressive for this squad, and we haven't changed anything. Obviously, the roster remains the same, except for a couple starters here and there. Lamar Miller is an impending free agent, as is Whitney Merciless, Jonathan Joseph, DJ Reader. A lot of guys are moving. Bradley Roby, I guess, only signed a one-year deal. Jaleel Adai, Brand Body Calhoun. Everyone is a free agent, man. I had no idea. Maybe I would have tried to package some of these guys off. But I believe now at the midseason mark here in Week 9, the trade deadline has passed. So that's a little bit unfortunate. I definitely want to bring back Clowney. I definitely want to bring back DJ Reader, Bradley Roby probably as well. Some of the other guys I'm less sure about just because of their age. So we've decided to bring back Jaime Fairbairn, Brian Body Calhoun, Bradley Roby, DJ Reader, and Jadeveon Clowney at the moment. Not going to bring back Lamar Miller, just 28. He's a running back. It's an expendable position, and he is regressing. Whitney Merciless, same deal. He's going to be in the 70s, probably a 79 at the end of the season, maybe an 80. But the point is that he's going to be maybe a 75 within 3 years, and I think we can do a whole lot better than that. So I would rather just not really worry about that and just get better, bring in some new faces. I know he's a great player still, but regression in Madden is a little bit OP still, in my opinion. So kind of just have to take preemptive measures. Are we serious? We're really going to make the playoffs here? 8-8. Feels like a waste of winning when the team's not great. But I guess they had a great second half of the season. We'll take a look at the stats and see exactly what happened here. 18th best offense in the NFL, tied for Deshaun Watson in passing touchdowns. Fourth defense in football, which is pretty damn good. Maybe I like the Texans playbook, but offensively, I mean, Deshaun Watson was pretty good, man. Very, very good year for him. Rushing Lamar Miller, not so much. Just over 3.5 yards per carry, only 7 touchdowns. Will Fuller over 1,000 yards. DeAndre Hopkins had a good year, although nothing crazy. Didn't lead the team in catches, yards, or touchdowns. Kiki QT had 9. I feel like always guys in the slot have more touchdowns. Sharping led up 13 sacks, but overall, not a whole ton of sacks allowed. Benardrick McKinney had 107 tackles, which led the team. Tackles for loss, 18 from J.J. Watt. Oh my God. Texans playbook puts pressure on the quarterback, unlike any other playbook we've seen. 14.5 sacks for J.J. Watt. Obviously, some really good players in here. We've seen Khalil Mack do 12.5 sacks when he's a 99 overall. Whitney Merciless is an 83. 12.5 sacks for Whitney Merciless. 11 for Clowney. 8.5 for Reader. Interceptions. Even got some picks. Bradley Roby with 2. Forced fumbles. Not a whole lot. Only 3 for the entire team. And then touchdowns. Defensively, we had none. I would be shocked if we didn't have some guys in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation as Andrew Luck wins MVP of the 11-4-1 Indianapolis Colts. No Texans in there, but AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Andrew Luck. Deshaun Watson at 8. Defensive Player of the Year, Von Miller. Clowney at 5. Watt at 6. And no Whitney Merciless. He's been slighted. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Hollywood Brown. Cullen Gillespie at number 7. Okay. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Levi Wallace, who notably is not a rookie. That's still an issue. I thought they fixed that. All the rest appear to be... Jermaine Pratt? No, he is a rookie. He was out of NC State. Everyone else appears to be rookies here. They all are. But no one from the Texans, unfortunately. I don't even know who it would be defensively. Who did the Texans draft? High defensively. No one in the first or second rounds. I think they took Kahali Waring, who we didn't even talk about. Is he not one of the top tight ends of this team? I thought they drafted Kahali Waring, who I completely forgot about. But don't appear to be any particularly good rookies on here. Charles Omena, who was maybe a 5th rounder. Lonnie Johnson would have been higher. All right. So we could have played him more. He got some skill points, though, so maybe he moves up the depth chart a little bit. And we will upgrade the team and see if somehow they can beat the Browns, which, oh, Titus Howard, 6 skill points? Go off. 6 skill points. That's insane. Gotta love that. Lonnie Johnson with a ton, too. But the Browns win the Super Bowl every first year, pretty much, in franchise, it seems. So I really doubt we're going to beat them. And we lost only by a touchdown, 24-17. Pretty good season nonetheless, but it's time for the offseason. The Colts beat the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Lamar Miller is an 83. Whitney Merciless down to an 80, which I guess that would earn probably another contract. I don't really want to give him more than a year, though. So I give him a year, and then I'll up the salary and the bonus quite a bit in order to get him to consider it. He's going to test free agency. Well, the franchise tags me, what, 14.5 at least? Ooh, 13.1? We're going to do that. Is he worth 13.1? Obviously not. Obviously not worth that. But it does get us to keep him for a year, and we have plenty of salary cap room anyway. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to let Jaleel Adai walk. I'm going to let Lamar Miller walk. Because if there's a top running back here in free agency, a Melvin Gordon maybe, what prevents me from going out and signing him? And he might be here. He's not, but Kareem Hunt is. Chris Jones is here. A name you very rarely see, and that would add to our defense and give us probably the best defensive line in football very easily. J.J. Watt, Chris Jones, DJ Reader. Really, really good combo. I'm definitely going to offer him a contract. Any other good running backs here? Don't particularly want Kareem Hunt. Derrick Henry could be cool. Jordan Howard, maybe. Could always draft a running back. Let's offer Derrick Henry a deal. There's Kahali Waring down there. 72 overall. I'm looking at tight ends. I mean, Eric Ebron would be cool, but we've got him what feels like fairly recently. I'm trying to, mix these up so they don't all feel the same. Do need a backup quarterback, though. I think bring Case Keenum back to Houston. And obviously for all you, well, he's expensive. I'm not going to do that. For all you freaks who are like, he was never on the Texans. A lot of you guys will know that he did actually go to school in Houston for the Cougars. So I'm not going to sign any of these guys. $7 million, are you out of your mind? We'll just wait to sign one for the minimum. But it's pretty much about time for the draft, isn't it? As Derrick Henry accepts and Chris Jones accepts. So an upgrade to the offense and the defense. We're up to a 77 overall. New starting running back. And defensively, obviously Chris Jones is a major addition for that rainbow defensive line. So we pick at number 21 overall. Giants hold the first overall pick. Let's see who they would take in this scenario. Jerry Jeudy to the New York Giants. Maybe you could end up seeing that. I'll show the top 5. Tua to the Dolphins. Chargers take Derek Brown. Broncos go with Bryce Hall, or Titans go with Bryce Hall. And then the Broncos at 5 go with Chase Young. Simulate to number 21. See what's available. See what we might want to draft here. CeeDee Lamb to the Falcons. Their receiver core goes ever stronger. Julio, Calvin Ridley, and now CeeDee Lamb. Of course, we took Isaiah Simmons in our last realistic rebuild. Not going to do that. Not going to go with a wide receiver either. Could go with Jonathan Taylor. Xavier McKinney would be an interesting option. I think we'll go with a cornerback, though, and that's going to be Jalen Johnson out of Utah. Am I convinced? I mean, we could go edge here. K'Lavon Chaisson is available. Might want to do that. As you guys can see, the glitch kind of worked itself out, except for Lyle Trainer, who apparently is still a first-round guy. But I said Jalen Johnson, but now I'm thinking K'Lavon Chaisson. Let's go ahead and take him. Whitney Merciless replacement for the future. Welcome to the team. K'Lavon Chaisson, obviously not the best player in the class. We took him at number 21. He is a 72 overall and has normal development. 83 speed, 82 finesse move, 79 block shed. Not too bad. So a decent addition to the team. And he should develop fairly quickly and take the place of Whitney Merciless. I'm sure they're going to be the same overall at some point in the next year. Chauncey Rivers, former Last Chance U Star, goes to the Falcons. I just finished the most recent season, and pretty wild. Let's take Alex Leatherwood here, guard out of Alabama. We do need to improve the offensive line. He might help us do that. 71 overall, also normal development, but good strength. Overall, he's a well-balanced offensive lineman, so he's going to be a good addition as well. I like our draft thus far, even if it's not too overwhelming. Of course, the overalls have been toned down slightly to kind of match more of what Madden 20 is all about with their draft ratings as Ellinger goes to the Falcons. Go with the backup defensive tackle here, I think, in Leon Lacey at Arizona State. Not a real player. The class is far from finished, and it's going to get a little bit slimmer as we move on to the later rounds, obviously. I should have probably taken a real player there, but he looked okay, so I kind of threw caution to the wind and took him. Regret that, actually. Kind of takes the immersion out of it a little bit as Shaquille Quarterman goes to the Falcons. That is a real player. A lot of you guys thought I was hating on Shaq Quarterman, by the way, for not having him be a beast in the class, but he tackles well. Go watch him in coverage because he's terrible in that department. Cheyenne O'Grady's real. Might just have the CPU draft the rest. Or actually, let's go Frederick Mauigoa here. Or Mauigoa out of Washington State. Decent offensive lineman, 69 overall. Certainly nice. 84 strength, 78 rem block. Actually, pretty good. So, draft recap. Of course, the team would eventually draft Moses Woods, who does not exist. Nelson Roach, obviously does not exist. And Gilbert Brinkley, the same. They're actually not too bad in terms of overall. Obviously, our top 2 picks in K'Lavon Chaisson and Alex Leatherwood are going to be our big guys. And Leatherwood is probably a guy that can start right away. Will he start at left guard? Looks like yes. Sharping's going to stay at left tackle, although I should probably swap him and Titus Howard. Zach Fulton can stay at right guard, and then we'll have Mauigoa at center. Kahali Waring, we need to get him some more playtime. He's a stud athlete, but is he better than Jordan Thomas? Let's see here. In terms of ratings, might have more potential for sure. Is just 23 years old. We'll probably just keep things the way they are, I suppose. Deshaun Watson's up to an 86. That's very nice. On the defensive side of the ball, I definitely want to get Chaisson involved, but I don't think he's definitely not gonna start over Whitney Merciless. So we're just gonna move him to left outside linebacker. Hopefully he gets snaps when he can. This is the team for season number 2. Might want to go out and sign a backup running back, to be honest, because I don't even know who this is. Josh Ferguson at Illinois. Probably not going to get the job done. So let's go ahead and head out into free agency. There are usually really good tailbacks available. So Damian Williams might be that. And I don't know, why wouldn't he be? Let's go ahead and sign Damian Williams. Welcome to the Houston Texans. Should be a decent backup running back. Nice two-headed monster with he and Derrick Henry. But this is the offense. Of course, you guys saw Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins. Everyone's progressing pretty well. Of course, Titus Howard, up to a 73 overall, is already exceeding my expectations for his development. And then Clowney and Whitney Merciless have swapped for some odd reason. Don't really know why that would be. And then in terms of specialists, if you guys care for that, Whitney Merciless is still going to be a rush end. Although you know what? I'm probably going to change that. I'm gonna change it to come on, spit it out. Change it to Chaisson. We are 2-5 at the midseason mark, but of course we saw a worse record or similarly bad record. I think it might have been 2-6 even at week 9 last season. Of course, the bye week would have changed how many games we actually played. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. However, Deshaun Watson being an impending free agent, also not ideal. That's going to be a lot of money. Will Fuller as well. Whitney Merciless, who I'm definitely not bringing back. Zach Cunningham, I'd like to. So probably those 3. Deshaun Watson's going to command a pretty big contract. Yeah, he wants a max deal over 7 years. Probably going to have to even up the salary a bit to make him accept. But it's going to be $244 million combined over 7 with the signing bonus. So that's pretty ridiculous. But welcome back to the Texans, Deshaun Watson. Will Fuller also wants a huge contract. Zach Cunningham, the only guy asking for a reasonable amount of money, about 4 to 5 per year. So I'd gladly do that. Brought back the top 3, excluding Whitney Merciless, so I included Zach Cunningham in that top 3. Although I probably should have said top 4, because that makes sense to how numbers work. We're going to go ahead and upgrade this team. Chaisson getting a little bit of XP there, a little bit of skill points to upgrade him. And we'll go ahead and spend what Coach XP we can, although I might not be able to spend on anything. Yeah, I usually always take care of the defense, and we'll just hold on to the rest for the time being. Up to a 79 overall. We'll see if we can turn it around in the second half of the season, although I find that doubtful, because 8 wins typically is not a playoff team, and that's what we managed to do last year. We'd have to win out to win 10 games. 10-6 is enough to probably make the playoffs. I say probably, but winning out seems unlikely, and we don't end up doing it. Finished at 7-9. The Colts took the division at 10-6. So a little bit disappointing. Offense was ranked 17th, and the defense was ranked at 3rd. So the defense is killing it. The offense is just not pulling their weight nearly enough. Deshaun Watson had a pretty good year. So I wonder what's holding this team back. Derrick Henry had a great year in the system. DeAndre Hopkins had a great year. Almost 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns, almost 100 catches. I put him in the slot too. So a lot more targets for him. Just kind of how that works. Offensive line was improved. I just wonder what is holding back the offense. Tackles for loss, 17 from J.J. Watt. Just incredible stuff. 13.5 sacks for him, 10 for Chris Jones, 9 for Clowney, 6 for Chaisson. Interceptions, we have 3 from Bradley Roby. The defense is balling out. I mean, you guys don't need me to tell you that. It's quite clear from our ranking in the league. But I think the offense is just killing us in terms of development as Andrew Luck wins back-to-back MVPs. No Texans in there. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Andrew Luck. Deshaun Watson in there at number 7. Defensive Player of the Year is Matt Milano of the Buffalo Bills. J.J. Watt at number 7. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Tua Tagovailoa. No Texans. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year is Trevon Diggs with the Bills. And only Chaisson in there at number 7. So it's just a little bit perplexing as to how we're not winning more games when our defense is so dominant. and the offense is about middle of the pack, maybe slightly worse than average. Should be good enough to win some games. I guess it's a 7-win team. Damian Williams is a free agent as the Panthers beat the Colts in the Super Bowl. Wow. Damian Williams, do we want to bring him back? He is 29 now. We'll probably go a different direction. Whitney Merciless regresses down to a 75. So you guys clearly see what I'm talking about with that. We'll let Brett Hundley walk as well. But it is time for free agency. I'm looking to bring in a new backup running back, a new backup quarterback we can wait on until later. Looking to bring in just some things to make this offense better. David Bakhtiari would certainly be that. That's going to be really tough to turn down. That's one of the best tackles in the NFL, if not the best tackle. And we basically just buy him out. We're in a bidding war with the Bucs if we'd like to go down that route. Tevin Coleman would be a fantastic backup running back. Of course, split carries with Deontay. Why am I thinking of Deontay Foreman? Florida State running back, number 24, Devontae Freeman. Dude, sometimes I just go brain dead when I'm doing these. I clearly know who that is. I know what college he went to. I know his face. I know his number. And I just am confusing his name for some reason. But Tevin Coleman, maybe we go a different direction. Fournette would be certainly an interesting combo. So Sidney Jones and David Bakhtiari accepted. I didn't really want to go too far past the Bucs. I thought the Bucs maybe would have won that. But no, we secure an amazing left tackle. Now, Sharping could move over to a different position. Zach Fulton is regressing slightly. We don't necessarily have to pigeonhole ourselves into him or, any other player. The team is looking really, really good, having a nice amount of skill points for some of these players as well. And then defensively, of course, the defense is coming along very, very nicely. Chaisson's going to be up near a 76 overall, maybe slightly worse than that. I'm going to start Brand Body Calhoun at strong safety now. We brought in Sidney Jones. It's a huge addition to our cornerback group. I'd love to see Bradley Roby start progressing a little bit quicker than he is, although he's probably regressing, and he is. Oh, I hate that. I hate that a lot. That is extremely frustrating, as it's going to hold back the team progression a little bit. But I don't know. Maybe we try to unload to Sean Gibson at some point. At some point, it would probably have to be now. Just don't know what we get in return. Maybe a second-round pick if we can work that out. But it's going to basically be time for the draft. Don't really know anything about these players. And, of course, it's not going to be the actual 2021 class because there aren't any good classes for that year as of yet. So no Amon-Ra St. Brown. Giants have the #1 overall pick in back-to-back years. As a Giants fan, that does hurt me a little bit. But we'll see what's available at 13 and act accordingly. Barry Lang out of Georgia looks legit. Now, could he start at center or right guard immediately? Maybe not, but it might be the thing we need to do. Brian Villa looks really, really good as well. Or Brian Villa, probably. He looks amazing. Might be the best player in the class. Could be tough for me to turn that down. Could draft another Boye. AJ Boye, of course, former Houston Texan. There's some good CBs available, but nothing crazy. I think the best move is going to be invest in our offensive line and take Brian Villa, who looks like he's probably the best player in this class, and then kind of move some guys around, which is, whatever. Sue me, dude. Brian Villa, 77 overall, the #3 player in the class. Of course, he has star development or higher. And apologies about my controller. Yeah, he's unbelievable. 88 strength, 86 run block, 76 pass block. Really, really good. Tough to turn that down. Kind of had to take that. And I don't mind that one bit. And again, sometimes you just got to take talent and move him over. Dude, Will Oliver, what the hell? I can't take him, obviously, because we were set at quarterback. But this looks like one of the better quarterback prospects I've seen in Madden 20, if not the best. He looks unbelievable. Triple A's. I don't know if I've seen that. I am going to go with Gabe Boye, though. Skip the combine. He's a baller. Said, hey, Roger Goodell, up yours. I'm not doing it. And he is quite good as well. Number 16 in the class. We took him at 45. He also has star development or higher. 90 speed, 72 zone coverage, 73 hit power. All in all, not too bad. And I am going to want to get him snaps immediately. He's not much worse than Tashawn Gibson or Brian Body Calhoun, who's almost more of a nickel cornerback anyway. And I want to see that quarterback. I really do. Might just find it out later. But, yeah, I think he's going to be probably the best player in the class. He's going to be near an 80 overall, if I had to guess. He looks incredible. And if he's still available, I might consider it, but I am not. Going to because he's not available. The best remaining player, in my opinion, is either Marion Mann, who's a zone archetype cornerback out of Arizona, or Ed Costin out of UMass. I'll probably prefer the backup linebacker, and he's a 66 overall. Number 85 in the class, we took him at 77, so not the best. Could have been worse, though. Take another linebacker here, Chandler Boyd out of Mountain Union. I believe that's one of the better D2 schools in football regards. I think Pierre Garçon went there, if I'm not mistaken. But Chandler Boyd, welcome to the Houston Texans. I'm going to simulate to the end. Usually I don't, but I don't really like a ton of the prospects later, so no point in making you guys watch me draft like 62 overall players, so we'll move on. Let's go ahead and check out draft recap. I'm convinced that quarterback is an absolute stud as, oh my god, oh, that's our class. I was about to say a 54 overall up near the top of the league. I thought it was in the top 5. 69 overall there. I mean, that's nice, but not the best. Show me the QB. So the best overall was actually a running back, Jalen Guyton in the second round, 80 overall. Wow. 80 overall. Pretty good. Where's that QB? He went in the third round to the Giants. He's a 75 overall. One of the best players in the class. Only normal development, but pretty good accuracy. Just his throw power is lacking, but his accuracy is phenomenal. And another QB there. Just these third-round quarterbacks are phenomenal. The Jets got one as well. Yes, new QBs in New York, and the Raiders got one also. This one probably looks to be the best of the bunch with that 94 throw power. But wow, what an interesting class, honestly. So we drafted Villa, who's a beast, but even though he's a higher overall than Titus Howard, which I hadn't even considered, that's not going to change what we do here. Now, Titus Howard's a good enough athlete where I can rationalize moving him somewhere else. He also has great size to play guard, but it's going to be his speed mainly at a 71 that makes me consider moving him. Although, what does Brian Villa have? Also huge. 6'8" is pretty big for a guard, but Alex Boone is a great guard, or has been, and he's 6'8". Leatherwood has played center in the past, I believe, for... Actually, I don't know if he has played center for Alabama. Has played tackle, though. And his speed is a 71. I'm confident in Titus Howard's ability to move. What does this mean for Zach Fulton? I don't know. 29 years old. 67. He's gonna play center. And now I know a lot of people don't like me moving offensive line positions around. It has to be what happens. And that's my explanation. Just has to be. Titus Howard, fun fact, as you guys will be able to see in just a moment, is a higher overall right guard than he is a right tackle. He goes up to a 76 overall. See that earlier in there in the depth chart. And boom, our offensive line looks much improved now. Fulton even goes up. Everyone's looking nice, man. I like it. Now, here's what the team needs to do for Season 3. Just go out there and win. The defense is certainly holding their own. Now I'm looking at the offense to finally do something. The defense is not a problem. The offense, big problem. They don't do anything. Charles Omenu, who is a rush end, no thanks. Obviously a big Texas Longhorns fan, but I don't think that's going to be good for the team. This is the team for Season 3. The offense is still improved. We brought in Wayne Gallman to be a backup running back. The receiving core is fantastic. The offensive line is, again, improved. Titus Howard, David Bakhtiari moving in. Because Howard, he's a new right guard for us, essentially, because we drafted Brian Villa out of South Carolina. So he looks like a monster. Hope he's going to be very good for us. Of course, tight end maybe is a position of need going forward. But the team overall is not terrible. 85 offense, 85 defense. The defense hasn't really improved all that much, but they've been very effective, so I don't really care. The one real weak point looks like K'Lavon Chaisson, but even though Gilbert Boye, he's fucking Gilbert now. I don't give a shit. Gilbert Boye is a 74 overall. He does have star development or higher, so he should be pretty good. He'll develop. He'll be like maybe an 80 overall near the end of the season at some point. But let's go ahead and simulate to the midseason mark. Midseason, why did I say it like that? I sound like Nico Bellic from freaking GTA 4. But we're going to simulate to the midseason mark and see where we are. 3-4. I'm so tired of these terrible records, man. Can we just be positive for once? Now, the Titans are 5-3. I'd love to see their overall, just for argument's sake. As I thought. Just saying. 81 overall to 77. I'm not saying that means we should be 100% better 100% of the time. But, I don't know, man. J.J. Watt's pissed about it. How about talk to the LB Corps? And he's like, oh, a meeting could make things worse. Well, that's a little bit unfortunate. Holding under 50 yards rushing. It is the Titans. They don't have Derrick Henry. But sim stats are just a product of scheme. And if the scheme for the Titans is good, they're going to probably rush for 50 yards or more. And we lost 24-10. So, okay. They indeed rushed for 50 yards or more. They have Jonathan Taylor. This team just loves to lose. And you know what it probably is? The offense. It's going to be the offense. 23rd in the league. What is the disconnect? Defensively, oh, we suck also. Okay. Season 3 is kind of a big failure at the moment. We'll simulate to the playoffs. We'll worry about re-signings then. We're not going to make the playoffs, I don't think. Season 4 is going to be make or break, really. Obviously, didn't make the playoffs. Finished 7-9. Again. I'm not really sure what to do about it. 20th best offense. They're just not winning. 21st defense. Now, the defense really took a major step back this year. And I don't know what's happening with the offense. The stats don't look terrible in general. DeAndre Hopkins is having career year after career year. And just defensively, we fell apart. But the offense has never gotten going even once. Even once. It's just upsetting to see. Got a safety in there. No touchdowns defensively. I just don't know. Andrew Luck wins another MVP. Maybe I got to try out Colts playbook, man. I know they only won 8 games, but what do I have to do to win a game? Like that's what I'm wondering, because it seems like we can't do it consistently at all, despite having a great overall as Clowney comes in second in Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Jalen Guyton, that running back, who is the highest overall player in the class. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Gilbert Boye now. So, just a little bit frustrating. Season 4 is going to be the final season. I hope they turn it around, man. We got to bring back J.J. Watt, who's regressing, but he's still going to be good enough to keep him, obviously. So, that's not really a major concern of mine. I just want to win. I know that these rebuild videos, you guys watch them for the team building aspect. But obviously, it is frustrating for me to sit here and year after year after year not make the playoffs sometimes when I have a good team. And we do have some pretty big free agents. Zach Fulton, I'm going to let walk. I'm bringing back QT, Reed, Watt, Thomas probably too. I just want to win, man. That's what it comes down to. I just want to win. J.J. Watt wants to play for a new team next year. You're never leaving Houston. So we're going to franchise tag you. He does. There's no way he would ever say that. So Aaron Colvin, I'm going to let walk also. 30 years old, only 74 overall, and regressing. Regression sucks. Deshaun Gibson's even down lower. But Jordan Thomas, QT, Justin Reed, and J.J. Watt all return. We'll see what we can do in free agency. I'm looking to maybe get a sick tight end or a center or something. But it's just not working out. We have money. Can we bring in anybody that can make a difference? I went after a right guard that I planned on moving over to center. DeMarcus Farrell, 75 overall, normal development, only 25 years old. He rejected, but we did get Chris Jones, who is a punter on a 4-year deal. So now we got a punter, and we'll simulate to the draft. I guess I want to bring in a center, or just the best offensive lineman I can. The defense is kind of slacking a little bit, but I'm not sure there's a whole lot I can do. I don't know what to do, man. The team is just, they're not holding it down. Just Bradley Roby's down to a 74. Oh, that's so bad. I guess I need a cornerback way worse than I thought I did. Cornerback, center. Derrick Henry's even regressing. Holy shit, dude. Picking number 6 overall, we should be able to get a big player here, depending on who is available. There goes a 78 overall right end. Looks like an unreal receiver here out of Georgia in Russ Lamb. Don't need him, though. Barry Elam looks fantastic out of Duke, no less. You guys know I love me some Duke first-round picks. Welcome to the team, Barry Elam. Always the best player in the class. That's fortunate. Wow. Star development or better. 79 overall. Really, really nice draft pick here. 77 man, 80 zone. I was worried about his man because we couldn't see it. High press at a 78. 78's a B plus for the class, I guess. Interesting. 93 speed. Low block shed, but that's okay. Really, really good player. He's already a much higher overall than Bradley Roby, as crazy as that is to me. We'll see what we can do in terms of drafting an offensive lineman here at the top of round 2. Although Derek Kennard at Utah State looks very good as well. Don't know much about his zone coverage, but looks good. Or we can go with his center, Artie Cottrell out of Indiana. Oh, hold on. Deion Sheffield looks like a beast across the board, so we're going to take him. And then maybe trade up. 69 overall. I thought he'd be a bit higher. Ranked at number 37 in the class. We take him at 38, so great steal there. I mean, he's well-rounded. Just probably should have opted to take the center. Whoops. Oh, they're still good. There are good centers available. Or, well, Alex Ward's here. I meant good, was on left guard. But these guys look good, too. And they're probably much stronger. They are. So they might constitute a change to center. Let's draft Max Sexton to play center. 69 overall, ranked number 37 in the class. We took him at number 70. So, good strength. Good pass block. Not a terrible run blocker either. We'll take Gilbert Leonard there. 61 overall. Not ideal. And then I think that's going to lead to me simulating to the end of the draft. So we did end up getting a pretty good center. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see how the fourth and final season goes. This was, so far at least, one of my least successful rebuilds. The team's at 82 overall, which isn't bad, obviously. That's not a bad overall, but it's just not that good. I'm not even sure Sexton's going to start. Probably not. His overall, or his development needed to be a bit better, and even overall as well. Probably won't even be a 70 after a move to center. Maybe will be, but who knows. 67, that'll be a backup. Elam is a huge addition, man. That is sick to see. I'm going to upgrade the team. It's actually going to be higher than an 82 overall. If I had to guess, I would put it maybe around an 84, because we do have a lot of skill points, and some at big starting positions that's going to boost that team overall. Probably significantly, up to an 84, 87 offense, 87 defense. This is the team for the fourth and final season. Please do not embarrass me. There are no real notable holes in my opinion. It's just some normal development players that kind of make the team look a lot worse than it might in fact be. But please win games, man. That's all I can say, all I can ask for. Let's get it done. At the midseason mark, we are 4-3. So finally, at least a winning record. Although the Titans continue to win and win and win, and we even lost to them apparently last week. I am upset by this. I was simulating kind of week by week, and we were 3-1 at some point. And obviously, it is not the case anymore. We started losing some games, and that's frustrating to me. As things started off, I mean, fairly good. I guess maybe I thought we were 3-1 at one point. Yeah, we were at week 4, but just a little bit of a disappointing season, a little bit of a disappointing rebuild. I think the team's good. Obviously, I'm a little bit more limited to what kind of studs I can build. Some juggernauts, I should say, in these realistic style rebuilds. But 85 overall is not bad. What overall are the 4-3 Redskins? That should be a good testament. They're 78, dude. Help me out a little bit. Throw me a bone. Let this team be successful when I've built a really good team. I'm not asking for a lot. But we'll simulate to the playoffs. If we make it, we make it. If we don't, we don't. That's the way she goes sometimes. But, all you can do is hope. Yeah, we missed the playoffs after a Week 17 tie. Finished 7-8-1. I'm so sick of this. I am. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm sure, a lot of you guys echo my frustrations with the sim engine, but 5 straight losses to what probably are lesser teams. And we won 3 in a row, then lost to the Colts by 3, and then tied. It's just, man, I'm not saying overall is the end-all, be-all, but at what point do the best teams in the NFL never win games. And we were one of the best teams year in and year out. We were one of the highest overalls. We had to have been. Every time I popped in games to check overalls, we were significantly better. And based on the overalls at the starting menu, and teams pretty much hold those overalls, 86 is one of the best overalls, if not the best overall team in Madden 20. And they just didn't come to play once. The defense, I think, overall was good. But the offense, I think, really held us back because we had multiple seasons where the defense was near the top of the NFL. Offense was 12th this time. I bet it's the defense holding us back. And clearly, it is. We're an average team, produced average results. And that's kind of the story of this rebuild. It's a disappointing one, and I apologize to you guys. But there's nothing I can do but build the team and then see what the results end up looking like. And in this case, they were negative, but that's going to do it for me. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.
We'll